I'd like you all to pay very strict attention to this video because I need everyone, every voter of color, every American of color, particularly my fellow African Americans, to listen to me very carefully. With everything that's happened in the last month or so, with the announcement that Joe Biden has left the presidential race, that Kamala Harris is the presumptive nominee for the Democrat ticket, I'm seeing a lot of African Americans out there on social media, everywhere, even here on YouTube, screaming at the bit how are they going to support Donald Trump instead of Kamala Harris because she's one of the things I've heard is she's a fake black woman. She's not really African American, this, that, and the other. I need you to understand what you will be getting if Donald Trump takes power back in November. I need you to hear me very carefully. Because if you're voting for Donald Trump and you're African American, you are voting for your own destruction. And that's not me being hyperbole, that is the truth. Let's look down. I have a list here of the policies that will destroy the African American if you vote for Donald Trump. Because Trump is not about the black man rising or anything else like that. He's not about protecting us and our rights. And by the time this video ends, I hope you understand that. Trump is only interested in protecting white supremacy. He showed that during the 4 years he was president, from 2016 to the day he left office in 2021. When he screamed that there are many people, good people on many sides, after Heather Heyer was murdered in Charlottesville, after white supremacists screamed, Jews will not replace us. That should have showed you right there that he's a white supremacist, that Donald Trump in his heart is a white supremacist. And this is not going from the 4 years of him being president. This is going way back when he was sued for a violation of civil rights, when he refused to rent to black folks back in the 70s. His own nephew went on The View on ABC and said that he is a racist. His aunt, his niece, Dr. Mary Trump. In my videos, I actually read you portions of her book, Too Much and Never Enough, showing Donald Trump to be a racist, showing him to be a white supremacist. If you vote for this man, you're voting for white supremacy, not America first, which is actually a saying from the Ku Klux Klan, if we're being truthful. You're not voting for America first. You're not protecting black American rights. You are signing the death warrant for them. Another reason is because of fascism. Donald Trump wants to be a dictator. He has said it over and over again. And despite the fact, and regardless of the fact he said he wants to be a dictator on day one, it doesn't matter to me. If it's 1 day or 1 hour, it does not matter. Any American presidential candidate who says he wants to be a dictator, take him for his word. And dictators rarely, very rarely give up their power for an hour, for a minute, or a second. Once Donald Trump has that level of power, see, Donald Trump is trying to go for this level of power, the presidency of the United States. What he really wants is this level of power. You see the difference? Total control of everything in this country, and fascism will be destructive to African Americans in this country. I know what I'm talking about. I've read the history. Fascism has never been a good thing for people of color in any nation. It doesn't even have to be in the United States, Nazi Germany. Do I need to tell you about the Holocaust? The next reason, Project 2025. Now, Trump can scream, huff, and holler about how he wants to distance himself from Project 2025. Unfortunately, he is repeating the exact same talking points of Project 2025. I read cover to cover. I hope to God you all have read too. And let me remind you of that Project 2025 has been written by white supremacists in this government. The head of the Heritage Foundation, which is a right-wing nationalist, right-wing nationalist group, threatened that if Donald Trump or any Republican takes power again in the White House, that we even say 2 words about it, there will be bloodshed. He said it himself, and I happen to believe him. Another reason is because he's anti-affirmative action. Now, of course, we know the Supreme Court struck down anti-affirmative action because, quite honestly, that's one of the safety nets we have as Black Americans to make sure we succeed in this country, that we're not left out of it, that we are part of it. Now, the next reason is something that's very dear to me, and I've said this over and over again. I have nothing but the greatest honor and respect for police officers, the good police officers, the police officers who do their jobs, pin their badges on their chest, walk out the door, and do their jobs with honor and decency. But Donald Trump doesn't care about honor and decency. He wants to give prosecutorial immunity for police officers. And it boggles the mind. I lost count of how many people died by the hands of law enforcement under his administration. I lost count, honestly. I honestly have lost count. In the conference with the National Council of Black Journalists, that was the first time, the only time he ever said that looks like a bad situation. Of course, I'm talking about what happened in Illinois with the deputy shooting a woman who actually called the police to report a prowler. That was the only time Donald Trump said, we have to look at that, it doesn't look good. The rest of it, who cares? He wants to give these people immunity who cross the line that kill innocent people under color of authority. You vote for Trump, you're signing your death warrant, or your spouse's, your husband, your wife's death warrant, or worse yet, your children's death warrant. Because now if police officers, and I know a lot of good police officers, and I've met a few bad ones, if they get immunity, it'll be open season on us. Because who knows what's going to happen? Some police officers may walk the fine line, and others may look at it as, Trump just gave me immunity. I'm going to kill me some people. That's what you're actually going to vote for this? The next reason is anti-environmental justice. Of course, they're anti-EPA. They're anti-anything that holds companies that pollute our environment in check. See Flint, Michigan. He's anti-$15 minimum wage. Now, you think that inflation's bad now, while people can't afford milk and eggs? What happens when the minimum wage is cut down and people can't even afford gas? They can't make a choice between, I need to get food, I need to get medicine, or I can get gas to get to my job, a job that's not paying me enough. They want to take that away. They're anti-workplace safety, so corporations can get more money out of the work of people. Now, they're anti-diversity. They keep using DEI like it's the N-word. DEI, of course, is an acronym for diversity, equality and inclusion. They hate it. They hate it. They hate it. They hate the fact that African Americans have a leading voice in this country, in business, in politics, and anywhere. The primary example, just by way of instance, Simone Biles. She's, at this point in time, in the second week of the Olympics, she won 4 medals for the United States. 3 of them gold, 1 of them silver in gymnastics, making her one, combined with the rest of her medals and the rest of her championships, makes her one of the most decorated gymnasts of all time, and all over social media. When it comes from the right wing, the white supremacists, the racists out there, all they said was, she's DEI. You might as well just say the N-word. Stop being cowards. They hate the fact that a black woman is successful in athletics. They just hate it with a passion. They're anti-child tax credit. Not a surprise. They don't want African Americans to reproduce. They're anti-equality. Do I need to keep going on that? They're anti-inclusion. Again, do I really need to go any further than that? They're anti-fair housing. Aha, let's talk about that real quick. They're anti-fair housing because they don't want African Americans to have a fair chance of having a home, of owning a home. Now, Donald Trump wants to scream, hope, and holler about it's the immigrants, it's all the dirty immigrants, it's the evil Mexicans doing this to us. No, it's not. You have policies that will make that do it to us. And immigration has nothing to do with that. Now, there are 2 more points I really want to make. I'm going to close out this video. Now, 3 more points, I should say. 3 more reasons, and I'm going to close out this video, and I hope that God, you share this, because African-American voters in this country need to wake up to the reality of what we're facing in the next couple of months. The next reason is anti-black voting rights. They hate the fact that we have the right to vote, because unfortunately for Donald Trump, the reason why he lost in 2020, now he can claim it was stolen. It's stolen from me. They stole it. They stole it. They stole the election from me. They stole it. The fact is, African Americans showed up to vote. I saw that. A lot of us saw that. We all talked. I made sure everyone in my family who had a chance to vote voted. I made sure every one of my friends who are black voted. I made sure everyone I knew voted and who they were voting for and why. We need to start educating people as to what is going on in this country. We need to stop this idea of, if it doesn't happen to me, it doesn't matter to me. If it doesn't happen to you, it's because it didn't happen to you yet. And make no mistake about what Donald Trump and his people want. They don't want the American dream. They only want power for themselves or anyone else that happens to look like them. And the complete subjugation of people who don't look like them. Now, I'm not saying every white person in this country is a racist. Please make no mistake about that. And I'm going to reiterate that in a few moments after these next few points. They're anti-civil rights, i.e., anti-civil rights. I mean, seriously, I had a conversation with someone on Twitter. I could tell right from the bit, after looking at his tweets, after his posts, that he was a white supremacist. Not only because he happened to say the N-word in full range on Twitter, it's because is because he wants people like me dead. Now, he didn't threaten my life. He just said that some people like me should not have rights at all, which means if I don't have rights in this country, I'm a dead man. Without the freedoms of our country, the freedoms of our Constitution, which the right wing claims that they cherish, we are dead men walking. We are dead women walking. We are dead children walking in this country. They hate the fact that we have rights in this country, and they are making policies, Project 2025, to make sure that happens. They're anti-George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. Now, why would you be against policies that'll make sure the bad cops are punished? Why would you be against that? How could you be against that? Again, I have nothing but the respect for the good cops in this country, in my cities. The cops that do care, that do their jobs with honor and dignity and respect. That respect ends when you become a criminal. When you shoot someone who's unarmed, when you execute someone and you want to use the excuse of I feared for my life, when you had his knee on a person's neck for over almost 10 minutes. When you shoot someone in the face after they called the cops to report to you about a prowler. Why would you be against that? Because they want to continue for things like that, for things like Derek Chauvin to happen. And they're trying to make policies to make it let happen. And the last reason is they're anti the John Lewis Voting Rights and Advancement Bill. So you don't want American citizens who were born here, natural-born American citizens. Full disclosure on me. I was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, which I believe is a state of the United States of America. If you want to be more specific, Hickam Air Force Base. Yeah, I'm the son of a soldier. So you're going to take away my rights? What did I do to have my rights taken away from me? Did I commit a crime? No. Am I a criminal? No. It's because of this. My black skin. And they are making policies to make sure that happens. To make sure people like you and people like me have no rights. And these African American Trump supporters are going to cheer it on. That to me shows that you're ignorant, or you just don't care what happens. That is so wrong in my view. And African Americans in this country need to start waking up to that fact. Donald Trump is a white supremacist fascist. He does not care about you. Just because you shake his hand or you say, I love my look at that my beautiful African American, look at that. You thought people forgot about that, Trump? I'm not under any illusions as to what Donald Trump is. Just because you have idiots like Brian Donalds speaking at the RNC, just because you have Candace Owens, who is a racist herself, a black woman being a racist against black people, just because you have all these African American MAGA, doesn't mean a difference. Donald Trump is a white supremacist and he will bury you. It doesn't matter if you're with him or not. He will destroy you because you look like this or even darker. And this is not just against black people. It's against every race in this country that happens to be not white. Now, I need to make this something very clear in this video before I close out. I am not saying that every single white person who supports Donald Trump is a racist. Please make no mistake on that. Please do not make a mistake on saying that. I am saying that the majority of the Trump supporters that I've spoken to, either on Twitter or on Facebook, or even face-to-face, in living color, in the flesh, so to speak, are racists. Just today, as I've said before, when Simone Biles won the silver medal today in her final Olympic event, they call her a DEI. In their language, it means didn't earn it. Seriously? We can read between the lines of what you're trying to call her. I know that there are black racists in this country, and those people need, and honestly, those people need to have a one-on-one talk with Jesus. If I want to get biblical, let's get biblical on that. But when you see a person like Donald Trump who spews the most racist crap, whose supporters spew the most racist crap, here's the question for you. Why are you voting for a man? Why are you voting for a party? Why are you voting for an organization that hates your guts because you happen to be black? And this is an open-ended question for all my African-American supporters out there, all my viewers out there. If you have someone in your family who happens to be African-American and they're voting for Trump, sit them down. Turn on this video or something else. It doesn't even have to be my video. But look them in the eye and ask them, why do you support someone who hates you, who cannot wait to take their rights away from you? Why? And if they don't give you an answer, if they can't give you a clear, concise answer, let me put it that way, then you know that they're screwed for life. Please share this video. Please vote for Kamala Harris. Not because she's black, not because she's a woman, but because the alternative is death. Donald Trump is the living embodiment of death for people of color in the United States. And I make no apologies for saying that because it is true. It's unfortunate that I have to say it. It's unfortunate that I have to even think it. But after the last few months, it is true. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.